I want to show you an amazing game played by Spielmann in this book. The book is made by different chapters that treat different pieces. One chapter is about the bishops, one chapter about the knights, one chapter about the power of the rooks or the pawns. The game I'm going to show you today, it's a win in like 25 moves against Breyer. And you say, but who is Breyer? I don't know. Very good. You don't know who Breyer is? Here we go. Breyer, here the chess revolutionary, was very important because he created some of the ideas of dynamic chess that we know thanks to the hypermodern school of chess, right? Like Nimzowitsch or Reti, they use some of Breyer's ideas. And Breyer, by the way, he was a Hungarian and he won the national championship when he was like a teenager. So imagine how strong he was, this guy, right? So a beautiful book on Breyer made by Jimmy Adams that tell us a lot about the player and his games. And now we go to see Breyer against Spielmann in Bad Pistien 1912. Breyer is white and he plays e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, e6, bishop f4, knight f6, castle, and knight takes e4. This is the open variation of a Ruy Lopez. Evidently Spielmann had no wish to play the Breyer variation against its pioneer. Okay, so what is the Breyer variation? It's bishop e7, right? Rook e1, b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, castle, bishop c2, and now it comes the important move, knight b8, right? That you would never imagine someone would play. d4 and knight d7. So the relocation of the knight is very important. Now let me go back to the original position. Okay, so this was the position, and instead of playing bishop e7, black played knight takes e4. After which Breyer continued with d4, b5, bishop b3, d5, d takes e5, bishop e6, c3, bishop c5, queen d3, castle. And now there is knight d2. Also bishop e3 was a possibility. Okay, so here there are some comments about the opening. Honestly, let's try to see the game and see what happens. After knight d2, black continues with f5, and here there is e takes f6. This is the famous en passant, right? The en passant rule. Knight takes f6, knight g5, obviously is piling up on h7, knight e5, queen g3, and the queen d6. Now white makes a mistake. What does white play? He should have played bishop c2. Instead he played rook e1. So let's see what the MacDonald says. A very tempting move, after which black appears to have serious problems due to the pin on the e file. His knight is attacked twice. and if it moves to safety, then the bishop behind drops off because it's attacked too, right? However, Breyer is leaving the f2 point, traditionally the weakest square in white's position, dangerously undefended. Ay, ay, ay. It should be remembered that white is behind in development, as his bishop on c1 has yet to enter the game. He is therefore provoking an exchange of sharp blows with an adversary who has a more powerful force at his disposal. Such a cavalier approach in an open position is always fraught with risk. So obviously the best move instead of rook e1 was bishop c2. Okay, you must not leave this unprotected in this kind of open position, and especially with two pieces that are out of the game. But how does black win? What should black do? Now try to pause the video and imagine if you were black what you would play. Okay? Black played knight f g4. As you can see, is directly attacking f2, right, with everything he has. The only way to stop it, it seems, is knight d e4. Very good, yeah. D takes e4. Bishop takes e6. And now black played a very interesting move. Can you imagine which one? He played king h8 instead of trying to take on there, right? Because he could have taken on there, take, and bishop takes f2, but again, it's a mess probably, right? So what did white play in this situation? He played knight takes e4. Now try to discover why white cannot really defend with bishop e3 instead of knight takes e4, okay? And black continue with queen takes e6, knight takes c5, and a beautiful another move. Again, pause the video. I hope you didn't see it from the diagram because some people like to spy. So what would you play if you were black? Okay, it's knight f3. At this point I think you understand that the theme of this chapter is about knights, right? And here it says the discover attack on e1 conclusively wins the battle between the knights. G takes f3, rook takes e1, sorry, queen takes e1, king g2, and now another good move by black. So try to pause the video and find out what would be a good move for black. The good move is rook a d8. Now, why knight e5 is a bad move? Because white could play bishop h6, where he's threatening a checkmate here, but most of all is going to take your queen, right? So that's kind of a problem. Black played rook a d8. White plays queen takes g4, all happy, but unfortunately things are not going well after rook d1. f4, queen h1, check, king h3, and now there is another good move by black, that is rook g1. Obviously white is a little desperate at this point, and because you know, if you do this, checkmate, right? So what do you do to stop that? He played bishop e3, after which black continue with rook takes a1, f3. f3 practically prevent black from playing again rook g1, but there is rook f1, king g3, and of course now pause the video and try to find the final move of this game. The final move was rook g1, and you say, why? What happened? Well, after bishop takes g1, queen takes g1, there is king h3, but then black plays, oops, queen takes e5, right? And now white is a rook down, so obviously it doesn't make much sense to continue the game. I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful game by Rudolf Spielmann against one of the top player of this period, a very talented guy called Gyula Breyer, a Hungarian champion. So thank you very much for watching, and keep tuned for other games and other videos. Thank you.